I've got to talk about this. This is not a joke, okay? We have shifted into an alternate reality. For sure. It's happened. I've got proof that it happened. So I had an experience last night that was really, 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 really crazy. Okay? And what it was, basically, I had a great day. I was very, very focused. I was working, blah, blah, blah. I go to bed, and I was really tired. And I'm in the bed, and I just did something I do sometimes. I put out some prayers, okay? I call in the spirits, and I asked for some healing. I was falling asleep, and I was like, boom. And as I was falling asleep, I had this, it's hard to explain, but I had this thought. I had a memory in my head, some sort of memory, and in a moment, I had another memory that was that it was a memory that would have taken up the same space, or was like the opposite of the other one. And I remember thinking, wait, if this is true, that can't be true. Both of these cannot be true. And I was confused. I'm like, well, which one is it? And I literally wasn't sure for a second. It was really weird. And then it slipped away. So right away, I couldn't even compare the two anymore. And then I couldn't even remember what the memory was. And it just slipped away so fast. And I was so relaxed, and I was falling asleep. And I had this almost intuition that was like, you know what, just don't worry about it, let it go, everything's okay. And I just let it go, and I fell asleep. Woke up today, feeling good. I'm doing my, I felt really connected and doing my spiritual practice. Everything was great. Okay, then my buddy hits me up on Skype, and he's like, dude, have you ever heard of the Mandela effect? And I thought about it, and I was like, I knew what he meant because I just had this weird experience. So I kind of knew what he meant. But after I thought about it, and I hadn't really heard of it before. I don't think so. Apparently, it's this thing where people remember things being one way, but they're a different way in this reality. But people can swear, like, whatever, certain lines from movies or whatever, just shit was like this, but it's actually like this. Here's what's fucking creepy as shit. So apparently, loads of people are talking about this, and loads of people are having memories of things being one way in our reality, but they're not. And a couple of examples are fucking ridiculous. The line was always fucking what? Luke, I am your father. Either Luke, I am your father, or Luke, I'm your father. But that's what he says. Luke, I am your father. It's always been that shit. It's always been that shit. Okay? Everyone jokes around about it in sketches all over the fucking place. But apparently now, it's no, I'm your father. Are you fucking kidding me? It's not that. It's never been that. It's ridiculous. But I looked at a clip on YouTube, and that's what he says. He goes, no, I'm your father. What the fuck is going on? All right, I'm going to tell you the weirdest one. The weirdest one. We Are the Champions by Queen. Everybody knows that song. Come on, everybody knows this song. And guess what? It was, we are the champions of the world. That was the fucking end. It's not that. If you look at the lyrics, YouTube videos, their concerts, all that shit now, that's not how it ends anymore. It just ends, we are the champions, and it fades out. So, I would love to know in the comments that example, because that one I'm 100% certain of. No, not even 100%. More than that. It's just, I don't even know what to say. So please go in the comments, and about the Queen song, you gotta let me know. Which ending do you remember? We've literally shifted into an alternate dimension, and I think it happened when Trump won, because I know there's plenty of realities out there where Hillary Clinton won. I think those ones will be fucking worse, but we don't fucking know for sure. But this one, I think it created a big shift because, a bunch of people chose to go into this one, and who knows, maybe in most of them, I don't know, whatever. It happened, and now all these people are having all these, it's really weird, dude. It's really freaking weird. I'm going to do more research, but I'm even just what I've done so far, I have several memories, where I'm 100% sure. It's the next day now. I was going to put that up yesterday, Saturday, but I didn't because I was flipping out. I've looked at this other video. I'm going to put the link below. Really good video. And there's so many more examples that I can't imagine anybody wouldn't be with me on this. Captain Crunch, the cereal. Y'all remember Captain Crunch? Yeah, it was called Captain Crunch. Guess what? It's not anymore. This is not the reality that I grew up in. This. We 100%, we have shifted into an alternate reality. I don't know when it happened. And thinking about it more, I never heard of the Mandela effect till yesterday when my friend messaged me on Skype right after I had my experience. I'd never heard of it before. And then I had my weird experience, and then boom, he messages me, and I start getting into it. What this means is essentially that reality is hackable. You can shift into other alternate versions of reality consciously, I'm guessing, right? I've heard it before from wise people, and I've shifted into the one where Donald Trump wins, which I preferred. Um, these weird changes, I didn't pick those, but it's not, there is no 100% reality. You can be in one and then shift to another. I've done it. I know I've done it. There's no question because I can see it. The question is, are these little changes, are they making them, is somebody, whatever, this for the force or somebody out there, I don't know, making these changes so we see them and realize, oh, there are alternate realities. So if that's possible, what else is possible? So maybe these are clues being left for us purposefully so that we snap out of it and realize that it's not, what is happening is not like we're told everything is totally normal and everything's fine and you just live your life and no, it's not, things are not fucking normal. And anything is possible because we've all shifted fucking dimensions. So I think that's my theory. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
I'm no longer interested in trying to convince anyone whether this is true or not, or giving different examples of that. I already completely get it. This is a bizarre, unique, and it's not necessarily a concept that's the easiest one to swallow, even if you have all the facts presented to you, because I think that as humans, we like to hold on to our beliefs no matter what, because we are very habit-driven beings. We're very routine-driven, and we're very much base our lives on familiarity and comfort. So to try and fit something in to that paradigm that doesn't fit into our day-to-day routine and it doesn't fit into how we pay bills, take care of our children, feed and wash ourselves, that can be difficult, and I get that. However, I think that this is a phenomena amongst many, and I'm going to say that this is a phenomenon amongst many that signifies something a whole lot bigger. I think it signifies something a whole lot bigger because there are all kind of examples of this. And when you look at some of the examples, such as there are bits of evidence with the Mandela effect that says that even the placement of our hearts in our body has changed. So something has changed, and I think it signifies or indicates something much larger than we think. I think that there is a tendency to want to place responsibility for this Mandela effect on different groups and individuals and technologies, particularly such as CERN, D-Wave quantum computers, and other forms of means to manipulate time. So let me share what I believe. I believe that ultimately, on the grander scale, that what is responsible for the Mandela effect is the Creator. I believe that the Creator, who is a being of infinite love and beneficence, is actually responsible for this phenomenon. Time is a part of creation. Time is a part of creation. So all of creation is stretching and bending and being pulled and pulled to its capacity, all for what purpose? Waiting for the revealing of the sons and daughters of God. I'm saying that I believe that even though I believe that there are certain self-centered, sociopathic, sadistic, criminal-minded individuals, corporate and spiritual entities who are using technology potentially to manipulate aspects of time, I believe that they are doing the same thing that you see Satan doing in the book of Job. I believe that they're doing at best only what they're being permitted to do. But I also believe that the word of God is emitting a signal and a vibration that is causing a stretching, a pulling, and a discomforting in a lot of ways process that is impacting even time and consciousness and how we remember it, for the purpose of giving us a chance to choose how we're going to show up in the world. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, when it talks about in the end there must be a great falling away, and that the Creator would send a strong delusion or a strong illusion that would confound the many who don't believe. So I remember Superman being Christopher Reeves. You go to Google right now, it says Christopher Reeve, no S. And so anybody who's just tuning into this for the first time, you can go back and look at some of my videos, or you can go to Google, or there's countless thousands of other videos with thousands of examples and things like that of the Mandela effect. You're just trying to survive. I think deep down all of us know something is changing.
I guess the last things that I witnessed during the last shift were a little overwhelming. This video was not the easiest video in subject matter for me to make, and I'm not the most comfortable with this, and it is pretty difficult to say what I'm going to say, but again, I know where I've been, and I know where a lot of you are, and I know how difficult it was for me, and how confusing things are, and how conflicting information, and what you're looking at and what you're hearing. Now, I'll have to tell you that the first 2 of the 3 years of this, I spent a lot of time, and I'm a little bit ashamed to say, probably more than most people have, trying to research and figure this thing out, because I was one of those people that was so profoundly affected. It was just crazy, horrible, not for a weekend, not for 2 months. I mean, just crazy, 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 and really didn't know what to do with it. And I'm not uneducated. For those of you who don't know, I have a doctorate degree in pharmacy. I've done clinical rotations at the absolute positively top locations in the country. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I always thought that if I sat and focused hard enough and long enough and gave this enough effort, that I would be able to figure out what this is, what happened, why did it happen, how did it happen, when is it going to stop, what does it mean, and why me? And hard as I tried, as much effort as I could possibly give, I could not figure this out. And I know to all of us, this is literally the biggest riddle our minds have ever been faced with. I mean, it's just so incredibly huge and pervasive and unreal. We're all looking for answers, and it's really going to be impossible to do so unless we really define what is it that we're actually looking for answers to. What are those things that have happened to us to let us know, and know in certain terms, that something has happened, and to go, search for answers and information. I think now that some of us have a larger picture to work with, that the best thing to do is back all the way up and put everything in context of the larger picture if we really expect to get any answers for any of this. I know that for a group of people that had a normal life, whatever normal is or means, and a really hard time, a really dark time, and many of us even fell into this very dark depression. And I know when other people, normal people, hear that, they think, okay, dark depression. But I'm talking to the people who know that I'm referring to a dark, surreal depression that is completely unimaginable by normal people. Many of us, that I've talked to, have experienced even a complete severing, a complete disconnection from the Creator, from God. And while they were afraid to tell family members or friends, even people that were going through this with them, they knew it within themselves. They felt it as palpable as a cinder block. They knew God was no longer in them, around them. couldn't be accessed, and that scared them even more during this because, you know, if it was the CERN thing and we're in a completely new parallel dimension and I don't feel God anywhere and I know he doesn't exist now, then maybe all this CERN stuff is right and maybe the interdimensional beings are right because I don't feel them, I can't get to them. And you felt this really overwhelming, undescribable void in your very soul that you knew was there and you couldn't do anything about it. Even if everything was fine around you, you know, your loved ones, everybody laughing, sharing a meal, doing something together, you knew something was very, very wrong.
But it really wasn't until 2016 that I started to recognize what this was, started to understand what the Mandela effect was, started reading about and listening to other people who were affected. And that's, for the most part, where I am right now. I understand that people don't get it with me. They don't understand why I'm acting differently. But I'm not really acting differently. I just realized that everyone around me isn't the same. So I am acting accordingly. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter what I do. The people that I had always looked at as my friends and family are, I don't know what to say. They're absent and they're not the same. They're not the same fucking people. I don't understand any other way to say it. And I know that when I say that, they look at me exactly the same way. And if anybody's displaced, likely it's me. But this is from my point of view. From my point of view, everyone's changed. From everyone else's point of view, I've changed. I don't think there's any going back to any of this either. I think we're kind of where we're at. I'm not really sure. I talked to another friend about this and she said, you know, you need new friends. And it's like, you know, the way she said it, I never really exactly thought about it like what she was saying. Like new friends. In my head, I kind of heard replacement friends. And kind of that's what they are. They're new friends to replace the old friends that don't know me anymore. It's about as close as I'm going to get to an explanation. I don't know what else to say. I was thinking about something the last couple of days, and I'm really not sure even where to begin this, but I guess I'll begin it back as far as I can remember to when I actually began to notice things were different, and that was probably the end of 2014. I started noticing that people I knew didn't act like they used to. And it wasn't until 2016 that I was really beginning to seriously doubt if the people that I knew were really the people that I knew, if they were really anyone I knew at all. And over the course of a couple of years, I've come to realize that I am the one that's noticing the difference. So I am probably the only one that's not the same. So I'm going to say that what I'm witnessing now, what a lot of other people are witnessing, what most people around them don't see except for themselves for the most part, is the Mandela effect. And I think that's probably what I've been dealing with for a few years now.